Upon reflection, I realized that many of the opportunities that I got, especially when I was younger, were not based on my understanding of myself. They were not based on my understanding of the world. They were based on my understanding of other people, and a lot of that had to do with my personality. We're going to talk a little bit about some of that stuff today.
You've got personal development, you've got professional development, and then you've got social development, and you need all three.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2229, the 3 types of development. So I know what you're probably thinking if you're watching this on YouTube. Kev, why does it look like you're recording this on a potato? Something happened and my camera has died. The battery died. So it's charging. And this is the best we could do. And this is what happens when you say you're going to do something every day and you're never going to miss. Sometimes it is suboptimal. So that is why I look like I'm on a potato.
Suboptimal. It's a great word.
Suboptimal. Is that one word, do you think? Hyphenated?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you wanted to do this episode. Why?
Yeah, so I do relationship talks coaching with Emilia, and we've done that for 5 years now. Yeah, we started in 2020. And while the majority of my coaching of my 22 clients, very grateful, is business and success oriented, there is some that is overlapping with dating. So at the Conscious Couples podcast, we primarily coach conscious couples, but we also have some conscious singles who want to attract their dream partner. And you and I, Health, Wealth, and Love, we used to talk a lot about love and communication and trust and empathy and vulnerability and all these things. And I have been coaching 2 individuals in particular a lot on dating. And a couple things that I want to share. Number 1, I am so grateful that I am done with dating. Same. Holy crap, it's wild out there. So for any conscious singles out there, I feel you. Hang on to hope. You can attract and find and find your person. That said, I've been trying to help these individuals, and one client in particular, 2 of them really, it's sort of taking them through the different steps of dating. And the first step is, hey, my name's Alan, what's your name? And then it's first date, second date, third date, boom, 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 these sort of steps. And the first date is during the day, tea or coffee, go for a walk, keep it cash. Don't break the touch barrier. No kissing yet, none of that. Second date, a little more intimate, maybe dinner in the evening, late afternoon, boom, maybe a movie. Third date, boom, boom, boom. And what I've come to realize is that you need all 3 of these in order to be successful holistically in life. Back in my engineering days, I went to college with some of what I refer to now as super nerds. We were mining for Bitcoin in 2008 in my dorm room. And one of my close friends and roommates was on Tech TV when he was 14 and that kind of crowd.
Tech TV throwback.
Yeah, right. And I came from a partying lifestyle where in high school I threw a lot of parties and I had a lot of insane times. And when I went to college, these quote unquote super nerds didn't really have very good social skills. And I remember there would be, I went to school in Worcester. I went to college in Worcester, and it's called the Worcester Consortium. There's like 15 colleges in the Worcester Consortium. There's Clark University, there's WPI, there's Assumption, there's Becker College. I don't think that exists anymore. There's a ton of colleges. And Worcester State, I had some friends that went there, and we would bring them to the parties. And I remember some of my friends that were girls would be like, hey, your roommate, it's kind of creeping me out. He's being kind of weird. And I would say to them, I said, listen, they're harmless. They just don't know how to talk to girls. And this is a playful story, but to bring it to our listeners, the point of this episode is social skills matter, and they matter a lot. And I would bring some of my friends from high school, and they went to state schools like UMass Amherst and Bridgewater State and all these different things. And my friends from home were always better at talking to and socializing, but not nearly as good at professional development. So my friends from college were very high on professional development, resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn. I remember when you and I first got together in business, I said, dude, everybody has a LinkedIn. What are you talking about? He's like, brother, nobody.
Yeah, nobody. What are we doing? I still, to this day, I don't even know why I have one.
I don't think there's a single person that I went to college with that didn't have a LinkedIn.
I don't know if there's a single person I worked at the gas station with that has one.
Okay, all right. So, and Kevin and I came from different worlds, but also the same world in a way. We grew up in the same small town, born and raised in Massachusetts, right? So, what a weird life this has been. But back to the listener, personal development is about yourself, understanding your uniqueness. If you are a nerd, own it. If you're not a nerd, own it. If you're a jock, own it. Whatever it is, personal development. That's the self-improvement. That's the personal development is personal. That's about you. You have to understand yourself. The second one is professional development. You have to understand the world. You have to understand the economy. You have to understand how it works, business to consumer, products and services, how do you get a better job? How do you rise in the ranks? What's the difference between corporate and entrepreneurship? And so you have professional development, which is resume, cover letter, LinkedIn, outside world stuff. Personal development, which is humility, courage, vulnerability, character, habits, goals, your life, you, understanding yourself, self-awareness. And then you have this third circle of the Venn diagram that we just don't talk about much, which is the social development. And we know some people that homeschool, and there's this whole thing around homeschooling where, well, they're not going to get the social skills they need because you and I both went to public school. And while the public school was really good in some ways, it was atrocious in others, in my honest opinion. But one of the things that I think people are afraid of about homeschooling, and for anyone out there who homeschools, I am not attacking you in any regard. This is just me contemplating live. What about the social skills? I have a client who his kids go to private school, and Emil and I have been talking a lot about building our family. Where do we want to live, and where do we want our kids to go to school? And we don't have any children on the way or anything. We're just planning in the future. And what are the best school systems? Do we want to homeschool, or do we want to do public school, or do we want to pay for private school? All this kind of stuff. Emil and I are very proactive about all this because over the next decade, we're going to start a family. And I've been thinking a lot about this of, if you want to be really successful in life, this is a success podcast, you have to be really fucking good at all three of these.
If you could only have one, what would you pick? I've been waiting to say that the whole time. And how has that changed over the years, if it has?
Dude, that's like if you could only have one, you got to go with personal development. If you could only have one, and then it would be professional development, and then it would be social development, but you're pretty much not going to be successful unless you have all three in a way. Holistically successful.
I think personal carries over to relations to a degree.
They all merge. And I do think this is important to say. A Venn diagram, picture three circles. One of them is professional development. One of them is personal development. One of them is social development. If you're really good at the social world and relationships, and you're really good at understanding yourself and habits and personal development, and you're really good at resume, cover letter, corporate, understanding the economy, you're going to be very successful. Those are three really important things that I mean, you're strongest. You have a very strong social development, I think. When you and I were at parties in the past before we started working together, and everybody loves Kev. That's what I say. Like, everybody loves Kev. You're funny. Exhausting. You're fun. Oh yeah, for sure.
It is exhausting.
Yeah, but I think that you weren't super professionally developed, and that was the bottleneck. Social development was great. Everybody liked you. Everybody loved you. You could converse. You could talk to people. You could communicate effectively. And then personal development was coming, but professional development was just fucking terrible, to be completely honest.
I love the fact that you said converse. You could converse. That word got me.
Well, real quick, you had avid fisherman on your resume. Like, this is, and I'm not making fun of Kevin. I need to make this clear. Kevin's the man. But what the fuck are you thinking?
I wanted them to know. Outside of work, I'm gonna put in a hard 40 for you. Outside, I'm gonna be catching some fish.
Yeah,
it's important.
What do you think is the most important of the three?
Man, I made six figures with only one, really. So I would say that,
brother.
No, I don't think that's the
You
most.
got lucky, son. I'm kidding.
I did. No,
People
well,
liked you. People liked you.
So many of the opportunities when I was working at a company. I was a forklift operator, certified forklift operator, of course, truck driver. And I actually very much enjoyed that job. The only thing I didn't like is they wanted you to work like 80 hours a week. And it was like, I don't want to come wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Now I do that for a living every Saturday. So I should have stayed. No. But when I left that job and I went to the fire academy, the only reason I got hired by the guy I got hired by is because we just got along really well. And he liked me. And that was so many of the opportunities I've gotten. I'm telling you right now, a lot of the clients that I get really close with, it's because we just get along really well. Every time you've never heard this. This will be check for the golf. Every time I log in with one of our biggest clients, first thing he asks is, how's golf? Every time. Every single time.
Yeah.
And I've said this to people before, as an entrepreneur, as a dream chaser, whatever it is you're doing, some people will work with you just because they like you more than other people. I have asked, there was a client that we've been working with for the last year. Started off doing episodes every other week, going up to weekly in the new year. When I first did a breakthrough session with them, they said, hey, I want to work with somebody. What do you do? How much does it cost? All that. And they followed up and said, hey, we want to work with you guys. And I said, can I ask why? They're like, yeah, we just like you better. It's like, okay, cool. That was it. That is why they work with us. So there is an aspect of that that I think is under
that they're not aware of too. Like, you can't just be likable. You also have to be competent.
Well, yes. But let's just say we're
trust
all
the brand, trust
as
the company.
competent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
It's a competitive advantage if everything else is equal, for sure.
If that's the thing that knocks it over the edge. I would probably say personal development. I think personal development is
We both agree with that. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, you got to know yourself.
Because you can be pretty successful. Are you ever going to be the best and the best of the best of the best? No, probably not. But
yeah.
But you can get really good at, because here's the problem. Okay, people like you. Awesome. Well, they're going to get you opportunities that you can't actually convert. So I know people that are super likable that people would just help them. And it's like, oh yeah, I got a job for you. I got a job for you. And it never worked out because they just weren't that competent. Unfortunately, personal development, you are developing yourself personally, and you're most likely going to be a very positive opportunity in every room you're in. You're going to get opportunities because you worked really hard on yourself. What are you smiling about? My shit ass.
You hear that outside?
No.
Oh. I'm pretty sure the trash and recycling is here.
Let's take people behind the scenes. This is the second time we've tried to record this episode. First time, Alan's Wi-Fi was 6 ways to Sunday just jeffed.
Yeah, we have solved it.
Different laptop. Then, as that was working, my camera just died completely. And then
in the middle of the episode.
So yeah, it's been an interesting day.
This episode is going very well.
You think so?
Yeah,
it's
for
weird.
Sure. Tech wise.
Yeah, tech wise. Yeah, content wise. Let us know. Tech wise, though, everything is so far so good. Yeah, personal development's my answer.
Same. Okay, so personal development is number one. Start there. Professional development and social development.
I think it depends. I think that depends on I think that's
goals.
Contextual based on the goals. Yeah.
Depends on the goals.
You have a daycare, you better be personal.
Yeah.
I don't care if you know the gross domestic product of it doesn't matter. When I drop my fucking kids off, I need you to be able to hold a conversation with me. Because if not, I'm going down the street, most likely.
But you're not going to scale it if you don't have professional development.
Well, so it's almost like, what is number one? What is your biggest strength? What is the one that maybe you're okay at?
Nice.
And then what is the one that is just terrible? What is the bottleneck, essentially?
Let's answer that for you before. Kev, pre-NLU, pre-hyperconscious.
What's the personal label?
Personal development is self-awareness, core values.
No, what's the personal, the relationship one? What's that label?
Social development.
Social development was number one for me. For sure.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
You good with the people?
I was good with
a man of the people, for the people, by the people.
For all the shit I've talked about pumping gas, I got really good at knowing people and communicating. I talk to hundreds of people a day. Some people that were amazing and super good moods, other people that were having the worst days of their lives, other people that loved me, other people that didn't like me. That was a really good opportunity for me to just get to know human beings. Yeah.
I talked in the past about being a chameleon and sort of losing myself and being everything for everyone, and 12 fraternities, 5 sororities, every club, intramurals, the whole nine. It's not every club by any means, but it was too much. It was too much. High school friends to college, college friends to corporate. I think I developed a ton of social skills, even though I wasn't consciously working on it. And then the dating thing, let's go back to that for a second. Middle school, we talked about AIM on the last episode. AOL Instant Messenger for the youngins.
That was this episode.
That's what I meant. But
yeah, the last.
Oh, yeah. The last time we tried to record this episode.
Yeah.
And you just, through massive pain and failure, and you just go learn how to talk to people. You learn how to talk to women. You learn how to have your boys. I don't think I ever consciously worked on social skills. I think it was just kind of, for me, it was always about focusing on professional development. So for me, it was professional first. So you were a social development first, and then personal development was next, and then professional development was third, which is why you put that you were an avid fisherman on your resume.
I was. World class. That was good. I was
not
really
world
good.
class, and you know it.
I was really good at fishing back in the day.
Fair.
I'm telling you.
We did reel them in that time. Nine for me, 7 for you.
I'm
Home field
rusty.
advantage.
I'm rusty. I'm talking. I had the spinner bait. I had all the stuff. I had different types of line. I had everything. I knew. I researched it. Warm water, they go deep, or whatever it was. Cold water, they go. I had all of it. I had all of it, brother.
All right, real quick, everybody. That is. Yeah, I know. I'm messing with you. All right. You needed personal development, and you definitely needed professional development. And we didn't know this back then. I had professional development for sure. I remember we'd go to career fairs, I'd dress in a suit, and I'd interview. I remember I spoke, the Asian longhorned beetle was destroying the trees in Worcester, and I did my international qualifying project, and the state senators of Massachusetts and the mayor of Worcester were there, and we had to present in front of like 80 people, and I was the one who opened, and I was in a suit, and so professional development was just the focus. Kev makes fun of me in law class. I came in a full suit as a lawyer, and he was on the jury and did not vote the correct way.
That's the thing right there, right? Like, you got to know the audience.
Yeah.
You got to know the audience.
When we went to speak in Wisconsin, the juniors and seniors, we spoke to the middle schoolers, freshmen and sophomores, and then juniors and seniors. And you and I agree in hindsight that the juniors and seniors were kind of making fun of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something about professional development that was made fun of back in our day?
Definitely.
It's almost like being well kept is a bad thing. I've never understood that.
There's something weird about you the collective you, trying to say that you figured life out more than other people. With somebody at that age that has such an ego, it's like they don't know how much there is to learn. If I, today, 36-year-old Kev, went to Uxbridge High School when I was a freshman, junior, whatever, I would be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Really?
Get out of here. Like, what time are we getting dismissed? Are we still getting out at 1:45, or are we going to have to stay late for this shit?
I would not at all, dude.
Well,
that doesn't resonate at all.
I think you valued it.
I valued it so much.
But what I probably would have resonated with is somebody who showed the relational strengths, whoever that would
How would they do that? How would they do that? I like people that are... I have one client who's always dressed nice, always dressed in a suit, always comes correct, always... I like people who take life seriously. Life is a serious game. You cannot fuck around with life. Everyone think of someone, and this is, sorry to interrupt you, Kev, but this is the last piece for me. Anyone out there watching or listening, this is about you. Think about someone in your life who's really good socially, but not professionally developed at all, and probably not that personally developed. Do you have someone in your head?
I blanked out when you were saying that. I was thinking of an example of, for my next point. Okay. Go again real quick.
Think of someone who is socially well developed, but not personally or professional.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just make it simpler for the listeners. So think of someone who's got very high social development. Okay, the popular kid, quote unquote. Okay. Now think of someone who's very professionally developed. Boom. Okay, now think of someone who's really personally developed. Isn't that interesting? Who comes up in your head? I hope I come up for professional development. Now, that means I have to stop fucking swearing so much, and I have to button up a bit. You want to know one thing that pisses me off? I feel like I have to be one way, and I'm not. You and I, dude, where we grew up, I think you're hilarious. It's hard for me to hang out with you and be a professional. That pisses me off. It bothers me. When I showed up to the speech that Serena Williams was the speaker the year before, I was speaking to kids, 10-year-olds, I'm not going to swear, right? But I showed up as a professional. It's all contextual to the setting. I don't want to be just a professional. I don't want to be just fun and social. And I definitely don't want to just be super personally well developed all the time. I don't want to be any one of them. I want to be all three of them. And unfortunately, your reputation is built on one.
It's hard too, because even like if it was up to me, because Tara and I have had this conversation before. I would wear jeans and a t-shirt if I could when I spoke, everywhere I went. That's just what I would wear, because that's the type of people that I resonate with. I don't resonate with somebody in a full suit. I don't. So that's another piece of it. Because that's not who I am. It doesn't resonate with me. I don't know. Because that's not what I aspire to be. I don't want to be.
One of our biggest strengths is we have all three of these now, but we don't
it's a weakness
fit any one of them. That comes with a huge weakness, dude.
I think about that all the time when I'm in the gym and I like post a video of me doing like just bodybuilding type stuff. Like, you know what I really want to do that I have not done yet, and I don't know if I will? I want to like take bodybuilding type pictures like I used to of my legs and stuff. Can't really do that.
No,
quote unquote.
Hold on.
Quote unquote.
Can, but that affects our impact and our business.
It affects a lot of things. I've seen people have left the Next Level Fitness Accountability group recently as we've leaned more into bodybuilding. It's like, that always sucks. It makes me sad.
You know why that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've also gotten a lot of people come in.
For sure.
Too, which is, you know what I'm realizing too, and this goes for the listeners as well, I don't think we can be someone else. And you and I have an extra disadvantage in this, and an advantage, but like, on what planet would Mr. Professional Development start a business with Mr.
Somebody asked that. There was a person in my life who didn't ask me this. He asked somebody else, but he said, "How do Alan and Kevin work together?" And they're completely opposite. It was essentially like, how did Kevin get into that? I was like, yeah, it's fair. It is a fair.
Yeah,
it is.
He literally
fair.
said, doesn't he have his engineering degree and a master's in business? My background is professional development.
Mine
all
is
the books. I have Einstein books in the background.
I went on a podcast pre-call today, and one of the first things they said is, "I love your background." Happens all the time. It's one of the reasons I like this back. This is a really good representation of me. Really good representation of me.
I always joke. I say they need to like you and know you have my standards.
Mm-hmm. I would say that's fair.
I just wish we could be all of who we are and not have to worry about this. It's like typecast. Actors and actresses complain about this all the time. It's like you're typecast as a certain role.
Is there a world
in life
where you can?
Everyone gets typecast?
Is there a world where you? I'm not saying everybody has to like this person, but Gary Vee has done a really good job of just being himself to a detriment. He goes and he goes and speaks to 10-year-olds and he swears at them. I'm not saying you should do that. Probably keep the F-bombs in the bag if you can, with the preschoolers. But he doesn't dress up ever.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. There's something interesting.
There's certain people he just won't reach because of that. He just won't.
But I wonder if he's okay with it.
Yeah, well, obviously he is. Right. And at the end of the day, you got to figure out who you are. That's why I dress nice, is because I think that's who I am. I want to dress nice.
I had a moment today in the gym where I was like, you and I are so different in the gym. Today was heavy legs, and I had just finished a really heavy set, and I saw this guy looking at me, and I know him, and I knew he was looking for a spot. So I turned around and I put my hands up and I was like, you need one? And he's like, yeah, man, can you do it? And I said, dude, I was waiting. I knew this was going to happen. And now him and I are buddies. Mm-hmm. And I dap people up all the time. I go out of my way to like meet people in the gym. That's just the way I am. And I was thinking, why doesn't, and don't let me put words in your mouth, but why doesn't Alan like to do that as much as I do? Dude, when I was 16 years old, I went to Gold's Gym in Milford, Massachusetts, and there was this dude, he was fucking massive. Mm-hmm. And he gave me advice. And I was like, oh, if I ever get jacked and I ever have any idea what I'm doing, I'm going to help people too. Always. I'm never going to say no. Somebody came up to me the other day and they're like, dude, how do you have so much mobility when you squat? And I was like, oh, you ever heard of Ramwad? That's something I did for a long time. And this is how I don't do it anymore, but I used to.
But I
used to do it every day. And I stopped completely.
Used to be's, wannabes, and oughta-be's don't produce no honey.
This is what I do for my warm-ups. And did that like wreck my workout? I mean, it didn't help.
What are you optimizing for? This is what it comes down to. And for our listeners too. What are you optimizing for? Yeah.
Relationships.
You are relationships first, goals second. I am goals first, relationships second. Dude, I am optimizing for flow. Yeah. There was a guy in the gym the other day. I know we got to kick it to the other episode here in a second.
I think we're Jeff, honestly.
Yeah, we're going to just do this one. Yeah. We're going to just do this one.
Yeah.
So there is this dude in my gym, and of all the people that I've met in my gym, there's one dude who wipes the walls with me and everything. He doesn't tie his shoes. He's a freak athlete. This dude's fucking so strong. I've never seen anything like it. He had like 6 fucking plates on each side of the squat rack. I'm literally looking at him and I think he might die if this falls. And we're way across the gym. This is like a Saturday night or something. And I was seeing him build up. First, it's like 3 plates. It's like, oh, shit. And then it's 4 plates. It's, oh, shit. I'm not kidding, Kev. I look across the gym and this dude, the right shoulder's starting to fall. And he's got 6 plates on each side. It's fucking nuts. At least 5. I might be 5 or 6. I was across the gym. It's a lot.
5 plates on each side, 10, 450. That's 495 pounds. That's elite levels.
Elite level squatter. Yeah. It started going. It started going. And I was like, oh my goodness, if this dude falls, like he's gonna break something. This is bad. And then he throws on another plate on each side. And he was struggling on the last one. And I'm sitting there going, in my head, Emilio, we got to get the fuck out of here. This is going to be bad. He ended up getting it up. He's fine. He took a long break between sets, luckily. But he was looking at me kind of, because I'm big enough to actually squat that. Not squat that. Help. Assist him in squatting that. Yeah. Obviously, he's not going to ask someone small. I'm 6'2", 210. He's 6'4", much larger. But he was kind of giving me the look, and I couldn't. Now, I need to make this as clear as possible. I only have an hour a day, every day to work out. I do 50 coaching sessions, trainings, and podcasts on average every week. I can barely get in the gym 3 to 4 times a week right now because we're doing steady state cardio every other day. I've had to be very discerning with what I do and don't do. I had to decide in advance, like I'm here to focus, hood up, hat down, get after it. I don't even really, Emilio and I have sign language for PR. We have sign language for everything, numbers, all that. And I optimize for flow. I do. Now, in the past, when you and I were chilling and we went to the gym a couple times a day and we had an hour and a half workout here and there, back in the fitness modeling days and all that, I would have for sure noticed that, gone over and tried to help him. I do want to help people. I spend every single day helping people. Sure. I'm helping more people now than I ever have before in my entire life by far, to the point where I'm having trouble focusing on me. But I decided in advance that I needed to help people in my unique strength. Yeah. And this dude doesn't need my help in fitness. He's good. And he's stronger than you or I will ever be. But I think that that's just a conversation we all have to have with ourselves, is I've decided to help people with professional development. And I think what's weird about this, I was naturally professional development. You were naturally social development. And you and I got so far from those.
That's what I was thinking about today, is like, dude, I miss that. I was so there's this giant, I don't know where, like what ethnicity he's Middle Eastern, and he is just massive, like just built. Like this dude can just do whatever he wants. I don't remember his name. I wish I remembered his name so I could give him a shout out. But I walked over to him today and gave him daps. I was like, dude, crushing it, man. Crushing it.
Yeah, love it.
And
that's the social aspect that you like.
I love that.
For me, I was social, but I don't miss it. I don't feel like it was ever who I really was. I could party, I could have fun, I could be social, I could be friends with everyone. I can turn that on if I need to.
Where I'm valued. Dude, where I'm valued. As arrogant, quote unquote, as this might sound, I think it'll resonate with you whether you're out there. I've always kind of been the guy at whatever gym I go to. I know everybody, and people respect me, quote unquote. There's something like people watch me squat. Like I see people just watch me. It happens all the time. I like that. There's something to that because I feel like I'm getting valued for what I want to get valued. One of the reasons I love being, quote unquote, the podcast guy is because I spend time around podcasters. So I get a lot of respect from podcasters. I will go out of my way. Is that
why you didn't like podcast movement? Because you...
For sure.
You weren't being valued?
I'm used to being what I think is undervalued in most places in my life. I think podcasting is one of the places... Like, look, there's very few people here that have done the amount of episodes I have, right? Now, do I have the credibility and the glitz and glam of a lot of these people? No. But if I put in the reps, I think so, yeah. So, yeah, for sure.
For anyone out there watching or listening, where are you the most valued? And then which one, we all have all three, we all need all three. Seriously, if you want to be successful holistically, you need all three of these. You need to understand yourself, others, and the world. You need to be personally developed, professionally developed, and socially developed. But I overleaned on the social back in college, and I was unhappy, I was unfulfilled. I would rather reach my full potential and focus on my workout and then help people elsewhere. I don't want to be the life of the party. I really don't. I could care less. I have been. That's the irony. In college, I was the life of the party. It ripped... I'm not into it. That's not me. That's not what it wasn't true self. And I think that you and I, because we needed to well-round ourselves out, you went overly professional development and I went overly social development and overly personal development. And I think that, I don't know if it was ever really me. I think about this all the time. It's like I've got the warrior, I've got the engineer, these parts of myself. And then I have the fun, funny, social butterfly. But that is something that I can turn on if I want to, but it's not who I naturally am.
Well, I think that's the thought is what is the thing you can turn on? What is the thing you can't turn off?
That's fire. That's fire.
Where, I can't turn that off in the gym. I don't want to. I'm not interested. Not interested. Ever, 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 ever. I don't care.
I can't turn off the focus and the intensity.
I don't think that's
the engineer really and the warrior. It's always, even right now, I have 8 minutes and 19 seconds to my next coaching session. Like, yeah. I like being that level of dialed in. I feel like in some other life, I was supposed to be a Navy fucking SEAL.
What did I say I was supposed to be? A rapper or something, a musician.
Yeah, I love the idea of Delta Force SEAL Team 6, like how hardcore these people are. I'm reading some books. There's one book by Stephen Kotler called Stealing Fire, and he talks about how they train Navy SEALs. SEAL Team 6 is the Navy SEAL's Navy SEAL. It's I crunched the numbers once, as we all do at some point in the day, apparently. It's 1 in 1,300. So there's 1.3 million people in the U.S. military. There's only 300 SEAL Team 6. So 300 divided by 1.3 million. I think it's like 0.002 or something. We'd have to do the math. Let me do it. Let me do the math, because that's what I would do. 300 divided by 1.3 million times 100. It's 0.02%. 0.02% of people in the U.S. military ever become SEAL Team 6. It's the most elite brand, like elite team. The people who went into
Bin Laden's compound.
Bin Laden's compound were SEAL Team 6. And there's great movies about, I've watched all of them. The reason why is I like how precise they are. I like how on point they are. I like how intense they are. I like how mastery driven they are. I don't want to do anything half-ass. Fucking ever. I want to be on point. It's who I am. I love competitive sports. I don't love competitive sports watching them. I like doing them. I don't go into the gym for fun. That ain't me. I'm here to see what I'm capable of. And again, I'm only sharing that intensity because I want everyone out there watching or listening to own who they are. I think I locked up parts of me that I really love because other people don't like that. They don't want to be around someone who's intense all the time. And it's like, people always talk about David Goggins. He's so hardcore, all this stuff. I honestly, Brandon said this to me behind the scenes. He's like, I guarantee you're more hardcore than that fucking guy. And it's like, honestly, I don't want to come off as toxic. I don't want to be a toxic dickhead. I just want to be me. And I feel like I love doing shit that is intense like that. And I don't necessarily, I don't know, maybe you and I exploring all these other things, I just want to get back to who we are.
Same. See, I wrote the other day, dude, it was so awesome. It was so fucking awesome. And I literally, this is how you know it's your thing, or one of your things. I listened to what I wrote over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I was playing it on the way to the kitchen. I was playing it when I was using the bathroom. I just listened to it over and over because I just think that's that piece of me that I just miss that. I miss that. But seasons, man. Seasons.
This is why we have NLU, you have PGU, and I have BGU. It's good.
Yep.
It's good that...
It's like permission to be authentic. I think if anything...
I don't feel like we were inauthentic. I just feel like we were exploring other parts of us. Like, what is your take on this whole thing? Over the last 8 years, I feel like we found ourselves and lost ourselves.
Yeah.
And refound ourselves.
Not unintentionally inauthentic, but you try to play a character that you think is required in order to get the result that you want. I think, like...
Yeah.
Would I ever have learned sales? I never thought I would learn sales, but I do sales very differently than anybody else is going to teach you. I do it my way. I do it an authentic way. But did that start with me probably doing it in an inauthentic way to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it ever to the inauthenticity that I see? No, it wasn't that. But to me, it was off. And then the other thing too is like, we joke about a lot of the stuff of how much of a mess I was, and I was a fucking mess for sure. But a lot of that stuff, I've been writing since I was 16. I've been writing poetry since I was 16. I've been writing poetry for 20 years. There's got to be something to that, right? There has to be something to that. Just like fitness is a really big thing. So there's certain things that I think you push to the side until you miss it enough, and you say like, this isn't just a thing I do. This is a part of me as a person.
How do you know the difference? We got to do an episode on that.
That's
We're going to do
question.
an episode. The next episode is going to be on whether or not something is for you or not.
I don't know if it's the next one. We are going to do how we had somebody that said something to me recently. They said, there's a part of me that doesn't even want to do it, but I know I have to. And it's like that. It's like certain things feel like callings. I don't know. How do you do an episode on that? We'll do it, but I don't know what the answer is.
But isn't that similar to this? Of like, it's a part of who you are?
Well, I would say yes, but a part of who you are is not... You can't really wrap that up in a couple minutes, right? I think we could definitely do an episode on it.
Do you think it takes more courage to be who you are than it does to not?
I think it takes more courage. I think one of the most courageous things in the world is being yourself, because when you're yourself, if anybody shits on you, they're shitting on you, not a facade that you put up. Every time I put a rap out, there's a little piece of me that's like, I wonder if somebody's going to shit on this. Because like,
what if they do?
It will fucking hurt terribly. Terribly.
So what do you feel after when you put it out there?
There's two. One, I hope nobody hates it. And two, I don't think, very humbly, I don't think there's anybody watching my stuff that's going to do better than me. So it's that. Like, I wrote that in 2 hours after having a glass of whiskey for fun. I feel like I'm capable of, I feel like I'm good at this.
But it's, and I'm obviously, we got a minute and a half here. I guess we all have different facets of who we are. And I think some of this comes down to we are not one-dimensional. Like when you and I shoot the shit behind the scenes and we're laughing and joking and we're broing out, I don't feel inauthentic at all.
Same.
That doesn't feel inauthentic.
Same.
But I would feel inauthentic if I showed up in a hoodie and like in a beanie. And I know that you do that sometimes. That doesn't feel inauthentic to you. And I want you to be all of who you are. But like this feels more right for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I am a professional. In my very being, I am a professional first, and I can shoot the shit with you behind the scenes. Whereas I can shoot the shit behind the scenes, and you also have to be a professional. I think that, figure out the order. That's what this comes down to. I just hammered my mic.
Yeah.
It comes down to what the order is, because for me, I think I just had the syntax wrong of social development first. That's not me. Professional development first, personal development second, social development third. That's why I don't want to be everyone's friend in the gym.
Yeah.
Whereas you're social first, personal second, professional third. You need all three, but the syntax matters. I knew we were going to get there, man. That was.
I want to be the most extraordinary regular person ever of all time. That's the thing. So in my mind, I want to be the most extraordinary.
So you want to be social first, personal second, professional third.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, do it. Do it. And I'll balance you out because I need to be professional first, personal second, social third.
But I want to be the best I can be in all of them. I just don't want to lose number one to maximize number three. I want to maximize number one and let it follow. All right, we got to go because we're both going to be late. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. If you are as committed as you say you are to getting to the next level, make sure you tune in tomorrow because we will be here to help you get there. We're most likely going to do a part 2 version of this, I'm sure.
Keep reaching for your full potential. Next Level Nation.